Ladies and gentlemen, two girls, two boys, a phenomenon in pop music. ABBA.
Hello and welcome back to Like a Magic Spell, the song-by-song podcast which aims to unlock the joy of ABBA one song at a time. I hope you've had a good summer. It's been a few months since I put something out. That's because I've been busy working behind the scenes to get this next season ready for you. So this season, second season, is all about ABBA, the album from 1977. Actually released in the UK in January 78. Number one album in the UK for 7 whole weeks, and it ended up being the third biggest selling album of 1978 behind Saturday Night Fever and Grease soundtracks. So we've got some great guests coming up in the next few weeks, a new episode every Monday, and we even go international this season. That's in the next episode. You'll hear that next week. I'm really looking forward to sharing these interviews with you. Just listening back, it's just a reminder of how lovely people can be when you send them random emails saying, would you like to come on a podcast and talk about ABBA? So yeah, some fantastic chats coming up, some really lovely people to introduce you to. Before we get started with Eagle and Take a Chance on Me, just a quick request, stay to the very end of the podcast because Grandad's been on the internet and I found some juicy tidbits concerning ABBA and AI. So I'll just leave that with you. But yeah, stay to the end for that little morsel. Today's guest is a literary editor, writer, and ABBA superfan Joelle Owusu. And I began our chat by asking the usual question about how ABBA entered her life.
I want to take you back to maybe let me think, late 90s. I was a toddler, to be honest. And my mother had the ABBA Gold, just like so many families across the UK. She had the ABBA Gold CD. And we just used to play it as a family. And I have 3 sisters, 1 older, 2 younger. And we just used to dance and dance and dance around to ABBA Gold. There wasn't a single song that we skipped, ever. We didn't know what the songs were about. We weren't allowed to sing Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. Because my mum was like,
too rude.
Yeah, it's too sexual, My mum used to hate it when we sang Give Me a Man After Midnight. She hated it.
Fair.
Yeah, fair enough. There was just something about that one album that I just clung onto from, I guess, 1998, when I was about 4 years old, up until present day. And it was only when I became a teenager, I went beyond ABBA Gold to some of their actual proper albums and found other songs that didn't make the greatest hits. And the lyrics absolutely rocked me. Absolutely rocked me as like a 13, 14, 15-year-old. Especially the ballads, they just really got to me. And I think there was also a connection with my mum. My mum's name's Frida. So she had that connection.
No way.
Yeah, and it's interesting because she has a Ghanaian, her actual name is a Ghanaian name, and sometimes Ghanaians can get to choose their Christian names or their English names.
Okay.
And I can't quite remember if my mum actually decided to name herself after Annafrid or not, but she always made that connection between her being called Frida and Annafrid as well. And so I thought, it's meant to be, ABBA's such a massive part of our family in that way.
Incredible.
And I remember in year 3, so when I was 8 years old, I actually went dressed as Agnetha from the Waterloo Eurovision, with the blue cap and everything.
Oh, yeah.
That we had a 70s day in year 3, and I went as her, and only the teachers knew who I was. It's just been something that I've been proud of. I know it's not always the coolest thing to be an ABBA fan, but I do not care. I do not care at all. I love them. They give me so much joy, and it's just been the constant in my life, to be honest, from a really, really young age, not understanding, and then suddenly when I do understand, I love them even more.
Yeah.
So, and I'm obsessed. I love them so much, and I really respect the artistry and the craft of their music as well.
Well, this is it, because as we'll come on to talk to, there's a poetic quality, I think, to a lot of their lyrics and their music.
Definitely.
That is just unsurpassed, I think.
100%. A lot of the songs are really sad songs. Really, really sad songs written in a minor key, but with a really up-tempo disco.
Yeah.
Very much of its time. And I think that's why people love it so much. I think that's why Brits love it so much as well. We're very miserable people. So we love singing about yearning and heartache and, all this kind of stuff, but to a dancey beat.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I think as British people, we've really embraced ABBA probably more than any other, nation, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, I love them so much. I love them so much.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Now, when we came into this room, you were jingling your keys. We hit upon something, didn't we? We've both got ABBA keyrings.
ABBA keyrings, I'm screaming, honestly. So I have a golden disco ball, and I got that from the ABBA Museum in Stockholm when I went last July. And I just come from holiday in Nice, and I found out Elton John's final concert was the day after, and this was his final ever concert. He's never going to perform ever again. And so I called up my sister and I said, we're getting tickets. We were right in the nosebleeds. There were maybe 5 tickets left. And I said, I'm cutting my holiday short, and we're flying to Stockholm and we're going to go see Elton. And so I flew from Nice to Stockholm, and I had a lot of time spare during the day, and so my sister had to work in the hotel, but I thought, I'm in the land of ABBA.
How could you not?
How exactly? And I thought, you know what, I've got time to spare, my sister can't come with me, she's busy, I'm jumping in an Uber, I'm going straight to the ABBA Museum. I mean, I'd love to explore Stockholm another time, but I said, no, this is the priority.
Yeah.
And so I went there. I had the best time ever on my own. I went to the gift shop. I went crazy in that gift shop. I went crazy. It was actually disgusting how much I spent. It is, Adrian, honestly, disgusting. I bought massive posters. I bought key rings for myself and my sister. I showed you my MacBook, and it has a massive I Love ABBA sticker on it, which I rock proudly in the office or wherever I am. I don't care. It's a nice conversation starter. People always ask me about it. And to find someone else with another ABBA key ring, fabulous.
And also, mine didn't come from the same place.
Oh, yeah.
Mine came from the Super Troopers exhibition in the South Bank Centre years ago.
Incredible.
So it's very strange that we both kind of carry them. So on a previous episode, I did talk about the Super Troopers exhibition. It was only afterwards I thought, I should have mentioned the fact I've got a key ring, because I don't think about it.
No.
It's there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I carry my keys everywhere with me. And I just forgot that this is part of my life, basically.
I know, I get that completely, because even mine, it's rubbed off. A lot of the gold has rubbed off. Even after I've only had it for about a year, but it's rubbed off, and the kind of ABBA logo has rubbed off as well. But when I see it on my house keys, it just reminds me of joy. Their legacy is just phenomenal, and even someone like me, I'm a black woman, grew up in South London. We weren't listening to ABBA like that. Do you know what I mean? My peers and people, we weren't listening to ABBA like that, but. So people might look at me and think, oh, you're not in the target audience, but 100% I am. Their songs are sad but joyous, and a lot of them about strife and yearning, and, in the black community, we know that better than anyone, to be honest. And so I really do see that connection there, where sometimes other people can't, and I really do encourage people who don't think this music is for them to just, be open-minded. If you're not a fan of ABBA, no worries. But, there's always an ABBA song for someone.
Yeah.
So there's always something for everyone, regardless of your background, like you said. And so it's just a lovely thing to talk about. And I'll talk about ABBA, honestly, until I'm 95 years old.
So the first song we're going to talk about today is Eagle.
Yes.
So Eagle, the first track from ABBA - the album, released in December 1977. It was the third single released from the album. It released in May 1978 in Australia, Austria, Belgium, France, Netherlands, Spain, South Africa and West Germany, not in the UK. In some territories it was released as a double A-side with the wonderful Thank You for the Music. Eagle was written in April 1977 following a trip to LA with Benny and Bjorn, so you can kind of hear those Californian laid-back kind of almost Beach Boysy, actually almost Eagles vibe. The lyrics were inspired by Bjorn reading the 1970 novel Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. The book is described as, and I'm quoting here, an animal fantasy about a philosophical gull who is profoundly affected by flying, but who demands too much of his community and is cast out by them.
Okay, cool.
And Bjorn says about the song, he says, I was trying to capture the sense of freedom and euphoria that I got from reading that book. And that's incredible, isn't it? When you, as a book editor, I don't know, is it like a busman's holiday when you really enjoy a book? But there's that something about just closing the last page of a book and going, wow,
yes,
what a journey.
I love it when that happens. So yeah, like you said, I'm a book editor. I read every single day, and some books I edit, I like, I see an audience for them, a market for them, but when there's a book that literally takes your breath away and it makes you inspired to create something else, or you want to, you know, do it in tribute to the book, or, you know, something else like that, it's incredible, because that's how art moves on in time. Like, you take something that's inspirational and then you make another artwork out of it. I just love it when people do that. I love it when creatives do that,
because then it's not just confined to appreciating thing A, it's taking thing A, being inspired to create thing B, isn't
exactly,
it?
Exactly. And nothing is ever the same, do you know what I mean? And it's always for a slightly different audience, because it's a completely different medium. And I just, I really love it when people take things from books, especially, but I'm biased because I'm a book editor, and make,
You're allowed.
Yeah, and adapt it, you know, into a film, into a TV show, into poetry, into music or something else. Like, wonderful, really interesting.
So during the writing and recording process, this had the working titles of Hi Hi and The Eagle, which is kind of pretty obvious when you listen to it. It was recorded at Marcus Music Studio on Wednesday, the 1st of June, 1977, which is actually the day my friend Chris was born.
Oh, lovely.
So 2 things born on the same day. Fantastic. The vocals are interesting in this song in that they're shared by Agneta and Frida, singing together, which is something that happened certainly in the early days, not so much after this. In ABBA the movie, it's played, spoiler alert for ABBA the movie, by the way. In ABBA the movie, it's played towards the end of the film over the interview scene. Now, it's been covered by Swedish ragga artist Papa D, punk band Leatherface, heavy metal artist Rob Rock, heavy metal group Sergeant Fury, the Finnish group Yup, American indie gospel band Danielson, and the Australian electronic band Static Icon.
Wow.
It's been rumoured, and I couldn't actually find any proof of this when I was doing the research, but it's been rumoured that Eagle inspired the introduction to Human League's Don't You Want Me? You know, the down, now,
the synthy,
the
bassy,
moog.
Yeah.
And the final song fact, at 5 minutes 51, it's the longest ABBA album track. It's actually 1 second longer than The Day Before You Came.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, it's a very long song, so it was edited down for various radio plays and things like that. So shorter versions do exist.
Yes.
But 5 minutes 51, the longest ABBA album track. So, what did you think to Eagle?
Okay, right. I don't want to be negative.
But?
It's not my fave. So on the album, so ABBA the album, it's usually the one I kind of skip.
Yeah.
I've just never had a connection to this song.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a little bit older, I do genuinely appreciate the kind of late 70s psychedelic-y vibes to it. Honestly, I had no idea, you know, it was inspired by a book. I had no idea that ABBA even likes, you know, the band The Eagles. I really like them. So I didn't make that connection until literally a couple of days ago. So, like you said, you know, when they sing together, when Frida and Agnetha sing together, I like it sometimes, but in this song, it's so drony, and I know it's meant to be like that, but you know, when there's no harmony and there's no, they're not even singing an octave above each other, they just sing together the entire way.
Yeah.
I know it is meant to be so psychedelic, and you're meant to get lost with it, you're flying free, and you know, it's all kind of wavy and, you know, all far out, but like, I just... it's okay. It's okay. When you spoke about the Beach Boys and you know, things like that, you can hear that. For me personally, it's not my absolute fave, but I love how they haven't stayed the same throughout their quite short time, actually, as performers.
It's quite obscure. It's quite unconventional.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to start an album, I think.
So weird.
Sometimes an album will be a kind of a coherent body of work, and then they'll go on to do a second album, and that's another coherent body of work. I think Eagle is a good example of the start of an album that is a lot of things.
Yes.
And I don't think it coheres together very well.
Yeah.
And reading about the history of the album, they had just come off the back of touring this huge Australian tour. You know, it was not the best time, and I think sometimes they just wrote a complete album and it sort of emerged.
Yeah.
Whereas this is very bitty. Is what I'm trying to say. You know, it's very, and I think the 2 songs we're going to talk about, we're talking about today, are very different in their styles.
Yeah. What I do like about the lyrics, actually, is that it passes the Bedell test. It's basically a test where 2 women have a dialogue towards with each other, and it's not about men. And very few films actually have that. And sometimes I apply it to music as well. And I know that, you know, Ben and Bjorn are men, and they write these songs for Agnetha and Frida to sing. And a lot of the time it's, you know, my man, or don't leave leave me, or I want to leave you, let's be friends, let's just, all that kind of stuff. But this one is nothing to do with men. It's nothing to do with any kind of conflict or love or anything like that. It passes the test, and not many of the ABBA songs do. So I actually really, really find that fascinating, and I really do like that, actually. Not everything they sing about is about love and loss and relationships and family and all that kind of stuff. It really is about confidence and flying high and just feeling like you can just spread your wings and do whatever the hell you like. I love that about the song.
That's so interesting, and I love the fact that you apply it to music as well as the films.
Hell yeah.
Do you want to name and shame any of the worst?
Oh, well, I mean, we're about to talk about one of the songs.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go on to that in the next song that we talk about, because that's an offender.
Yeah. Eagle, so not a huge fan, I'm getting that, but would you like some Eagle facts?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Hit me with them.
An eagle's eyesight is 5 times better than a human.
Oh my gosh.
January the 10th, so that's a couple of days after we're recording this, is Save the Eagles Day.
Oh wow, lovely.
There are approximately 60 different eagle species.
Oh wow, okay, nice.
Eagles can fly high as 15,000 feet.
Is that really high? I'm terrible at distances.
I think planes are like 30.
Oh my gosh, okay, that's really high.
Eagles can fly up to 100 miles an hour.
No way, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. 100 miles an hour?
Up to. That's like max.
That's crazy.
I know. And the final eagle fact for you is eagles mate for life.
Do they actually?
Yeah.
Oh, bless them. Bless them, because they always look so angry and just so like, so you would never expect that they mate for life. That is lovely.
What's your favourite bird of prey?
Do you know what? I love a peregrine falcon.
Well, funnily enough, they came up when I was looking at my eagle facts. They can fly faster than an eagle.
No. Oh my God. Do you know why it's a peregrine falcon? Because there was this show that we were made to watch in primary school, and it was the 1970s. Do you remember it?
No, I don't. I totally remember it.
It was this very, very dodgy show about smuggling peregrine falcon eggs. And I don't remember the name of it, but I remember trying to Google it maybe about a decade ago, because it was just one of those things. I was like, did I dream about this? It is a brilliant drama, and it had me hooked at 7 years old. And I know it's meant to be educational, but it was all about peregrine falcons and these kids who are uncovering a mystery of these illegal eggs and, them being smuggled. It is brilliant.
They were like kid detectives, weren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's blown my mind. I mean, I watched it in the early 80s.
Yeah, but all I remember is that there was a song called Fly Free on the Air or something like that. Da, 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 da. And that has stayed with me for about 20 odd years. Like just the da, 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 da. Yeah.
I'm going to find the YouTube link and put it in the show notes.
Please.
That is so strange.
So weird, right?
Well, it's so strange that they played it to you.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a
this must
child
have been
a lot later than me.
Yeah, so this must have been like 2002, 2003. Do you know what I mean? And I couldn't tell that it was from the 70s or maybe even the 80s. I just thought it was that happened kind of recently, to be honest.
That's blown my mind.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Right. Peregrine falcons.
Yes.
A lot better than
Love
eagles.
Them. Yes.
So the video for this song, in my notes I've written, really trippy, captures the slightly hippie vibe of the song.
Definitely. Low budget.
Very low budget, yeah.
Very.
Stock footage.
Yes.
Always a winner. And I've put as well fantastic wind machine singing.
Of course. I like this video. I do, because it gives you what you want.
Yeah.
When you hear the song, you think of something in your mind, and then when you finally see the video, it is exactly how you think the video is going to be. There's a kaleidoscope of, reds and blues and greens and close camera shots and, Agnetha and Frida are looking all glassy-eyed and swayy.
And where would we be without wind machines?
Exactly.
Pop wouldn't be where we are today.
100%. It is vital. It is vital to have a wind machine if you are a pop star.
As you might have heard in previous episodes, so I've been through some of the YouTube comments, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Atchim Wolf 924 says, you lose the sense of space and time and feel transported to infinity when you listen to this song.
Ooh. I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah. Maybe there's a bit of haze in there.
Maybe.
Flat.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Probably.
Martin Norris 7593 doesn't sound like the sort of person who has a drug haze in their flat. What an amazing song. Greatest pop group in history.
Of course.
Stephen Houston 6124 says, Eagle is one of the most powerful songs ever recorded. I remember playing it loudly during a helicopter ride in Afghanistan.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah,
So,
big up you. Thank
absolutely.
you for your service, thank you.
Now, Local Review King 134, right, strap in for this one.
Okay.
I yearn to soar like an eagle, to be liberated from the shackles of negativity and simply be myself. I've encountered my fair share of devils throughout my life, and this song serves as a beacon of hope, a promise that I can escape their clutches and rise above the naysayers. Thank you, ABBA, for this uplifting tune that fuels my dreams of soaring to new heights.
Okay.
So I think there's a backstory there which we're not being led into.
Yeah, I really hope everything's okay at home. I really hope so, because that's a lot.
And Warfius1158 says, do a collaboration with Iron Maiden, please.
Okay. I mean,
Can you imagine an ABBA
Right.
Iron Maiden combo?
I mean, I would try and vibe to it. I would try my best. I'll try to be open-minded.
But all fans have limits, don't
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
they? In summary then, final thoughts on Eagle.
Yeah, it's one of those meh ABBA songs for me personally. I know it is of its time, and so
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And like I said, it passes the film Bedell test, which is always a plus. But it's meh. It's a very meh, kind of mid song for me.
Okay, so Max out of 10?
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, genuinely, yeah.
Okay, well, I've got Obscure But Wonderful, 8.
Ooh, okay.
I liked it. I kind of appreciate it for its differentness. I don't know why they put it to start an album.
Yeah.
I completely get what you mentioned about just skipping it and just going, I'll just pop on to the next one.
Yeah.
I like it, even though maybe sort of subjectively it's not absolutely not my favourite song, but I kind of get it's successful in that it was trying to do that whole flying, gliding, freedom
Yeah.
stuff. Was there anything else on your notes about Eagle that we haven't covered?
What did I say? So I did say, I read somewhere that not only Ben and Beyond inspired by the book, they're inspired by the band, the Eagles, who are obviously massive, you know, Hotel California, all that kind of stuff. I do wonder, did they kind of want respect from rock bands? Was this something to kind of give to the rock world, to be like, no, like, we are who we are, but we really respect you as, you know, more cool rock artist, please like us.
Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting, isn't it? How we can look at a group and sort of almost judge their credibility, etc. But if you're in that group, what does credible mean to them?
Yeah.
Do they want the musicians that they like to respect their art, their songs, their whole setup? You know, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I wonder. This song really makes me wonder that, because I feel like if ABBA was around now, they'd be chronically online looking at what people thought about them, and I'd be hoping, as a fan, I'd be hoping they wouldn't take any of the nonsense. You know, everyone could write a comment, everyone can tweet them, DM them, saying you're rubbish, you're this, you're this.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad they were from a time where you had to send, you know, a telegram. You had to send, you know, listen to the radio, and it would take ages for things to get back to you.
Yeah.
You know, I do wonder what they were thinking, because they can kind of put their hands up and be like, we're so successful. We've had how many sold out tours? You know, we're millionaires. You know, we're the pride of Sweden. We've won this and this and this. But I do feel they were yearning for some sort of respect from those rock American icons.
It's kind of an interesting thing. I'd love to kind of sit down with Bjorn and say, why?
Yeah, give us the goss. Give us the
goss.
Yeah, give us the tea, please.
Hi, just popping back to say I've put the link to that TV show that Joelle and I were talking about. It's called Sky Hunter. It was part of the Look and Read series way back in, I think it was 1978. It was first broadcast. And as we've just heard, it was repeated through the years. So I've put a link to that in the show notes, the YouTube link. And someone has very handily gone through the whole programme and taken out the educational bits. So all you've got is the Peregrine Falcon based drama. It's well worth your time. It's really good fun. Just another quick word. So this is just me doing this podcast. So if you can, please spread the word to any ABBA fans in your life and do the usual thing that everybody asks you to do on podcasts these days, rate and review. It really does kind of bump the algorithm and get the podcast in front of more people's eyes, which, you know, would be fantastic. And if you want to get in touch, please do so. It's likeamagicspell@gmail.com, and we're at likeamagicspell on Instagram. So, take a chance on me.
Take a chance. I can never do it.
Do you know what? When I was planning this podcast, I thought, should we try to do like a take a chance, and like a race?
Oh my god. Okay, right. Shall we?
1, 2, 3.
Take a chance, 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 take a chance. Okay, you win. You win.
Okay, so Take a Chance on Me, the second song from ABBA - the album. Also, the second single released from the album in January 78. It was recorded on 15th of August 1977 at Marcus Music Studio. It had the working title Billy Boy, which I didn't know before this, so I don't know how that quite fits in with the tune, but never mind. Apparently the song's beat, that Take a Chance that we've just murdered, frankly, apparently that came from Bjorn's jogging, and when he was jogging along, it was the beat of his feet on the concrete, and he just used to sort of almost sing it to himself as like a rhythm to moderate his pace. So he didn't kind of go, off. It was released as a single in 15 territories, going to number 1 in Austria, Belgium, Ireland, and the UK. And this was actually ABBA's final number 1 in the UK. Take a Chance on Me was covered by Erasure on their ABBA-esque EP, released in June 1992. Went to number 1, stayed there for 5 weeks. This song was used by the Republican John McCain when he was trying to be president in 2008, until ABBA told him to stop.
Thank you, ABBA.
So well done, ABBA.
Thank you.
It's widely regarded as one of their most popular songs and regularly appears in loads of charts or best of charts. So I've got a list of all the rankings here. So it's been ranked number 12 in ITV's The Nation's Favourite ABBA Song.
Okay.
Number 9 in Rolling Stone's 25 Best ABBA Songs. Number 4 in Britain's favourite ABBA song, that's done by YouGov in 2021. And it was ranked number 2 in Billboard's Finest ABBA Songs in 2017.
Nice, okay.
So a few quotes about Take a Chance on Me. Billboard says, one of ABBA's most busy, fast-paced productions. Record World says, a pleasing tune, very well arranged, which I think is a bit of a dry summary.
It is pleasing.
It's that thing, do you know that scene in Bed with Madonna?
Oh, no.
Where Kevin Costner comes in and says, yeah, it was really cute.
Oh, gosh.
And he leaves and they'll go,
Yeah,
no,
gosh.
neat, that's what he says. Yeah, neat. And they all go, ugh.
Yeah, it sounds kind of shady. It's pleasing. It's pleasing, it's all right.
And the music writer Pete Pafidis says, a song whose catchiness is so total that you never stop to ponder that it doesn't feature anything you can clearly identify as a chorus.
Oh my gosh.
So again, broad strokes, what do you think of Take a Chance on Me?
I love it. Love it. And to be honest, I shouldn't, because of the lyrics, you shouldn't really love it because it's a woman begging a man. It sounds so pathetic. If you actually were to read out the lyrics, it sounds pathetic, right? So beggy, you're begging to be a man's side chick.
Yeah.
Please just take a chance. Please love me. So it sounds lame as hell. Doesn't pass the Bedell test, obviously, at all. But I love it. It's catchy. I love the melody. I love the way the two ladies sing it. And, when they say, let me tell you now. And it's one of my genuinely top five favourite songs. Yeah.
I've written pure pop, exclamation mark.
Absolutely.
It's so catchy, isn't it?
Your shoulders start going first.
Yeah.
And then you just have to just start singing it out. And, it's perfect karaoke song as well. And it's one where you have to just use all your emotions, all your expressions. You can't just sing it, take a chance on me. You have to do take a chance on me, with all your body parts. You have to sing it with your entire body. It's body music. I love it.
It's a huge contrast to Eagle, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you're kind of hazy and swaying side to side. This one is really just, take a chance.
I've got written down here something about the opening. So it's Agneta and Frida.
Yes.
And then really quickly it's Benny and Bjorn as well. So you've got all four of them singing. And then this sort of rising chord beneath them.
Yeah.
And then that main beat kicks in. Just like...
An explosion,
yes,
just a
exactly.
release.
Yeah. As the song goes on, it just builds into this absolute powerhouse.
Yeah.
They add layers of music. There's like a synth chord, which again, just kind of underneath the kind of the surface.
Yeah.
And then they add more backing vocals. Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance on me.
Yeah.
I've written down here, it soars like a balloon. They just let it go. And by the time you get to the ba-ba-ba-ba-bars, love it. I love a ba-ba-ba.
Me too.
It takes off.
Yeah. It's a song that you can't ignore when it's on, and it's in your head all day.
I've written as well, it's almost like a wall of sound vibe to it.
Yeah.
But you don't feel like it smashing into your brain. You don't feel like it's aggressive.
And I love it when Benny and Bjorn get involved with songs,
Yes.
you know, and because, you know, that they're obviously resigned to background most of the time, so, you know, to let Frida and Agnetha shine. And obviously they don't really sing on this, but just adding their layer of those backing vocals really, really makes the song special. And it's funny what you say about the Wall of Sound. I do wonder, you know, kind of around the same time with, you know, Phil Spector, but I do wonder there must have been some kind of inspiration for the build up, and even like some of the modulations as well. It does sound very American, very of its time, but ABBA-fied, obviously. Yeah.
And I think there's definitely something around when Bjorn and Benny were perfecting their craft in the 60s, the stuff they did before ABBA, you definitely hear those things. And then, of course, you get the Spectre, the Motown thing. I've just got a little shiver down my spine thinking about that Wall of Sound thing. I don't think anyone could not have been influenced by that because it was such a huge kind of... Can you imagine what it was like putting on River Deep Mountain High for the very first time?
Wow.
Just blow your socks off, wouldn't it?
And especially playing it on, you know, a vinyl as well, something like that. So I have the ABBA Gold vinyl. I got it for Christmas, which is great.
Amazing.
On my new record player, and I haven't actually set up my record player yet. But I cannot wait to play this song on my vinyl because I just know it's gonna sound so different, so powerful, and that's how it's intended to be played, you know? And so I do think they were really intentional about every single element, musical element. As interesting and as, you know, exciting as the lyrics are, I think this is one of the best produced ABBA songs.
I'm grinning because I bought myself a record player about a week ago.
Oh, wow! Look at us.
And I splashed out on the ABBA vinyl box set.
Look at us. That's incredible.
And I also can't... I've held off as well. And I am going to do that this afternoon when I go home. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to put the Visitors on.
Yes.
And I am going to just let it all sink in.
Love that. I love that. Look at us with our brand new vinyls and our brand new record players. Oh my gosh, we're like the same person. I love it. It might sound wanky. Sorry guys if you're listening. You're like, you two are a bunch of losers. But we are very happy people. So there we are.
We don't care.
We don't care.
So the video for Take a Chance on Me.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because it's ridiculous. Let's be real. Let's keep it 100. It is so corny. It's so cheesy. Their outfits are terrible. Benny and Bjorn are sitting on these chairs, and then suddenly the chairs are empty. You know, Frida and Agnetha are just walking towards the camera, like strutting like models. They're winking. You know, it's just one of those ones where it's so funny, but you can tell they're having a blast on set.
Yeah. It's weird how they have that stark white set, the men sitting down, not moving, and then Agnetha and Frida in blue and red, contrasting blue and red. They're having a great time,
all over the place. They're all over the place. Yeah. And I just feel like I keep going back to the Bedell test because I know this is of its time, but it does feel like, you know, go on girls, do, you know, give it to the camera and, you know, look all sultry and smile and wink and dance around, and we're just going to sit there like men, you know, manly men, and, you know, not take part. It just feels odd.
Yeah. They literally have nothing to do.
Nothing.
And it's so strange.
Yeah.
So it's funny you mentioned the winking. I've got in my notes, lots of winking.
Lots of winking.
Vaseline on the lens, which is a real like 1920s, 1930s kind of thing of like, oh, look at the women, aren't they wonderful? I've written as well, Frida has a lovely crimped hairstyle.
She does. And I actually really like it.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I do.
Have you had a crimp in the past?
Do you know what? On 4C, you know, African hair, crimping is not a look. But I did try. I really did.
Okay.
Like going to a sleepover and having those really cheap kind of Argos things and almost burning my hair off and looking crazy.
Crimping irons, is that what they're called?
Crimping irons.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys. If you were born after maybe 1995, you might not know what we're talking about. But my God, it was a mess. It was a mess. It builds character. Do you know what I mean? Like, crimping your hair builds character because you'll always be humbled when a picture surfaces of you with that hairstyle.
Yeah.
And so as much as I'm, you know, I love what I do, I love my job, I'd like to say that I'm super successful and everything, there is a picture of me on the internet with crimped hair somewhere, and it will always humble me.
I remember because as a young boy seeing crimped hair on television or whatever, I was thinking, How do they do that?
Yeah.
How do they get that weird corrugation in there?
Right. And even the actual utensil looks so weird.
Yeah.
As well. And if I had a child, I would not let them anywhere near that. I would say, please, child, think about it.
And one final note I've got for the video is a curious zoom on Agneta and Frida's lips.
Yeah.
Did you see that as well? It's so weird, isn't it?
I don't like this video. I don't like this video. Yeah, I just feel, not that it's sexist, but I feel like with my woke lens, I just feel that it's odd.
Yeah.
And I just want to see the storyboard. I really want to go into maybe the ABBA archives. I just want to know what conversation was had and how this was greenlit, because as funny as it is, what the hell is going on? What is going on?
So going on to some of the YouTube comments.
Okay.
So Tostare says, definitely my favourite ABBA song. It's an absolute masterclass in how to write uplifting, dance floor friendly pop songs.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Timber4453 says, this sounds so fresh, brilliant and catchy, even 40 years later. Catchy, that word keeps coming up.
Yeah.
TR Guy 64 says, gold, spelt GAWD.
Gold.
Gold. This song is so chock full of wonderfulness.
Oh my god, that is such a phrase.
Heather Walker 2492 says, the It's Magic line and the following synth riff are so good, gives me goosebumps every time.
You know what? I can't wait to hear that on vinyl. I really want to hear how that sounds. Yeah. It's magic. It's going to sound great.
This comes back to something that you mentioned earlier, actually. Psychedelic Carrie 5291 says, I love how everyone in the video smiles like they know they've just crafted one of the greatest bangers the world's ever known.
I know, right? Yeah. They're probably patting themselves on the back, being like, yeah, we smashed it, lads. We smashed it. So, yeah, I agree with that.
And this is something that a lot of parents listening to this will sympathise with. RN4L Black Sunday says, I lied to my kid. I told her the ABBA girls are the real-life Anna and Elsa from Frozen. Not only did I create a 3-year-old ABBA fan, I might be finally free of the Frozen soundtrack forever. The ends truly justified the means.
Oh my god, fair play. Fair play. Yeah, well done.
It's a stroke of genius, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I think. So many of my friends with kids go, oh, not Frozen again.
Let it go. Anyway.
I'm going to let that go. Yes. And finally, Cubswin3838 says, Frida is awesome, heart emoji, sultry, exclamation mark. Those boots are hot AF.
Oh my gosh, okay. Well, I guess the crimped hair works then. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I guess someone's into it.
Oh, we've got to mention the flowers.
Oh my gosh, those flowers. Yeah, I mean, cool. Someone was into it. Someone, turned someone on. So cool. They did their job right.
Absolutely, yeah. So if we take the video out of the equation, because we've decided that's one thing, the song, final thoughts about the song?
Well, like I said, it's the ultimate side chick anthem. Let's be real. I love it. It's just so ridiculous and fun, energetic. I love how it's performed. I love how they sing it. I wonder how many takes they did to get it to sound like that. One of my top 5 favourite ABBA songs.
Excellent. Marks out of 10?
Oh my god, you know what? I'm going to have to give it an 8, An 8, yeah. I do prefer a sad ABBA song. I do prefer the ballads. Yeah. But for the high energy ones, it's high up there, yeah.
Excellent. Well, I've gone for a bouncing hypnotic pop perfection 9.
Yes.
I think 9. I think it's definitely up there. It's so well produced and got so many elements to it. Oh god, it gets you and just gets you on your feet.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I completely agree actually. Yeah, maybe. Okay, you know what? 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 8.5.
Okay, let's settle on 8.5.
Yes.
Joelle, thank you so much for speaking to me today about your ABBA experience, your ABBA love, these ABBA songs. It's been the most fun.
Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed myself. Thank you so much, Adrian.
My supreme thanks to Joelle for spending time with me and chatting about ABBA, which you can tell that she is very enthusiastic about. It was an absolute joy to meet her and to chat with her about her favourite subjects, and you can tell from the conversation we just laughed basically solidly for well over an hour for that chat. So yeah, thank you very much, Joelle. And I should just give a little shout out to the Nostalgia podcast, which has been created by Victoria Pennant. That's where I actually heard Joelle talking about music and about ABBA first. So I've put a link to that in the show notes. It's an excellent show and can thoroughly recommend it. Now, AI and ABBA. not necessarily the usual bedfellows you might think, but I was just having a random conversation with someone the other day about AI, and I thought, do you know what? I wonder if AI can create some new ABBA song titles. So according to ChatGPT, these song titles that it has created aim to evoke the kind of storytelling and emotional resonance that ABBA is known for, blending themes of love, nostalgia, and the ups and downs of life. So here are the 10 new ABBA song titles created through ChatGPT. Okay, number 1, Dancing Through the Rain. Number 2, Golden Days of Summer. Number 3, Midnight Serenade. Number 4, Echoes of Yesterday. Number 5, Lost in the Music. Number 6, City Lights and Lonely Nights. 7, Whispers in the Wind. 8, Chasing Dreams Again. Number 9, Broken Hearts and Blue Skies. And number 10 is Starlight Symphony. So what do you think of those? Let me know at Like a Magic Spell on Instagram, likeamagicspell@gmail.com. My favourite of that list, I'll put the list on the Instagram as well. I think my favourite from that list is number 6, City Lights and Lonely Nights. I think that captures that kind of duality within ABBA, so a sad song, to a disco beat. So that would be fantastic. And if anybody wants to create songs based on these new titles, then, go for your life, but let me know about it and give me the right credit. So that's it from this episode. Thanks very much for making it to the end. New episode next Monday, and I'll see you then. Like a Magic Spell is presented and produced by me, Adrian Stirrup. The theme was composed and performed by Ian Jones. Ian, thank you for the music.